Belteshazzar. But it is absolutely astounding to me the influence that Daniel and the three Hebrew boys had on the kingdom of Babylon, if you like. It was a heathen kingdom, worshipping heathen gods. But somehow their bold stand for God got everybody's attention. Yes, it made them many enemies. And if God were not with them, they would have been totally destroyed. But I was also speaking about this, that, because it's a Daniel fast and prayer, let me help you understand a little bit about it. What happened is, according to Daniel chapter 10, right? According to Daniel chapter 10, let me just come back a bit. Daniel chapter 10, it's interesting, just before this, Daniel had a vision from the archangel Gabriel. He had a vision, he had some words that were spoken to him. I don't want to go into it because it will be too long for the short time that I have to speak. So I'll pick it up from chapter 10. And so in the third year of the reign of King Cyrus of Persia, a message was made plain to Daniel, whose Babylonian name, notice, his Babylonian name was Belteshazzar. The message was true. It dealt with a big war. He understood the message, the understanding coming by revelation. Now look what he done. That's where this fast came from. Daniel, during those days, went into mourning. You can call it fasting also. Went into mourning over Jerusalem for 3 weeks, 21 days. That's where we get the 21 days from. 1 week is 7 days, 3 weeks is 21 days. So he says for 3 weeks, now listen to this, I ate, so it's not that he didn't eat. He ate only plain and simple food. No seasoning or meat or wine. And neither, this is interesting, neither did I bathe. So he didn't bathe for 21 days. I'm not advising us to follow that. We may be in problems on our job or wherever we're working, so don't do that. But he didn't even bathe. And I think he was so overwhelmed by the vision that he saw that it gave him no rest. And so that's why he decided, I'm going to set myself aside and find out more about what is actually going on. And so I ate only plain and simple food, no seasoning or meat or wine, neither bathed nor shaved until the 3 weeks were up. On the 24th day of the first month, I was standing on the bank of the great river, the Tigris. I looked up and to my surprise saw a man, listen to this, dressed in linen with a belt of pure gold around his waist. His body was hard and glistening. His face, hard and glistening, as if sculpted from a precious stone. His face radiant, his eyes bright and penetrating like torches. His arms, feet glistening with polished bronze, and his voice deep and resonant, sounded like a huge choir of voices. I, Daniel, was the only one to see this. The men who were with me, although they didn't see it, were overcome with fear and they ran away. They were so scared of what they saw. This vision was so overwhelming and so powerful that the men all around him that were with him, maybe even believers too, ran. They were so scared of what they saw. Then the men who were with me, although they didn't see it properly, were overcome with fear and ran off and hid, fearing the worst. I was left alone after the appearance, abandoned by my friends. I went weak in the knees. This is Daniel saying this. I went weak in the knees. The blood drained from my face. I heard his voice. At the sound of it, I fainted, passed out. fell flat on the ground, face in the dirt. A hand touched me and pulled me to my hands and knees. Daniel, he said, man of character or man of quality, listen carefully to my message and get up on your feet. Stand at attention like a soldier almost.